In the center of the cosmic court station orbiting Sector 92F, I stood before a tribunal of beings so ancient and terrifying that I honestly wasn't sure if I should bow, salute, or run screaming. The galactic hall of accord was vast, marble-like floors gleaming with anti-grav polish, banners of countless species hanging from cathedral-high arches. The judge, an Ethrexian matron named Julivator, blinked with her vertical golden eyes at me, her six-fingered hands folded in front of her. I was the only human in the entire room. Again, the gallery behind me buzzed with curiosity. Diplomats, nobles, and officials from across the galaxy had shown up for the trial. Not because they cared about the case, but because of who was involved. Princess Threxala Vaunt, a Zaltari noblewoman accused of committing genetic theft by harboring human DNA within her genome. And the victim, me. To be clear, I had no idea how my name ended up in this mess. I was a civilian systems engineer from Earth, stationed at the fringes of Union space doing routine reactor maintenance when I was abducted, allegedly for research purposes. Next thing I knew, I woke up in a velvet-lined chamber aboard a Royal Star Cruiser, with an 8-foot-tall alien woman leaning over me like I was some kind of endangered spice. We didn't do anything. At least I didn't think we did. But scans apparently detected partial genetic transfer between us. Zaltari law was very, very specific on that matter. I coughed into the silence. Oh, Your Honor, I'm not sure what exactly I'm being accused of. The judge's voice boomed across the chamber, resonating through my bones. You are not the accused human. You are the claimant. By Zaltari tradition and binding galactic charter, the one whose DNA initiates resonance with a royal line may lay claim to the bond. Resonance? Gasped confused. Is that like a chemical reaction? Threxala, in chains made of glowing stasis bands, looked at me from across the court floor with narrowed red eyes and a sulking lip curl. She was regal, proud, and furious, though not at me, oddly enough. It's a soul match, she growled in her low, throaty accent. Rare among our kind. Even more rare across species. My blood recognized you. You are encoded in me now. Blinked. What? She's saying, the judge clarified, that by galactic law and her own people's ancient traditions, you now hold marital rights to the Zaltari princess. I nearly choked. Wait, hold up. What do you mean marital rights? She yours, the judge said plainly, lifting her ceremonial gavel. Unless you decline. Do you? All eyes turned to me. Threxala looked away, jaw tight. I saw a flicker of hurt behind her stern mask. I swallowed. This couldn't be happening. 2 weeks earlier, it had started like any other Tuesday in space. I was halfway through rerouting an ancient coolant manifold when a pulse of light enveloped my body. I barely had time to swear before I found myself floating weightless, inside a spherical chamber of alien glass. Before me stood 3 figures, robed, masked, and absolutely not human. They spoke in musical tones, clicking and chirping. My implant tried translating. Suitable genetic profile detected. Initiating process. I was about to protest when a needle plunged into my neck. Darkness. When I woke, I was in a bed that was too soft, too luxurious, and too heavily perfumed. The room glowed with gold and indigo hues. Floating crystals cast dancing lights on the walls. And standing at the foot of the bed was her. Threxala. She wore some kind of royal body plate and a flowing sash, her arms folded, eyes narrowed. Her hair, thick, black, almost tentacle-like, swayed with a life of its own. I tried to stand, but my legs wobbled. You're awake, she said. That's unfortunate. Thanks, I said, rubbing my neck. You'll remain here for observation, she snapped. I'll be monitoring your physiological responses closely. And that was the start of what I now know was a bonding process, one I never consented to but apparently had no choice in. I was fed like royalty, bathed in energy fields. Every time I looked up she was there watching, studying. And somewhere along the way she stopped frowning. We began talking. She was arrogant, yes, but also lonely. The weight of succession and politics had drained her. Her father, the emperor, had arranged for her to breed with a compatible partner to maintain the royal genome. But it was my DNA, inexplicably, that resonated with her Zaltari core. A fluke. A twist of evolution. Either way, she looked at me not as a lab rat, but something more. Something that scared her. Back in the present. I decline, I said flatly. The gallery gasped. Threxala's face didn't move, but her eyes glinted sharply. I'm a human civilian, I added. I didn't sign up for this. I just want to go home. The judge nodded. Very well. By your rejection, you relinquish all claim to the princess. However, he paused. There are consequences. Course there were. In rejecting the bond, the princess is marked as genetically blemished under Zaltari law. She can no longer serve in the royal line. He frowned. What? That's insane. It wasn't even her fault. She didn't mean for this to happen. Threxala still didn't look at me. Her fists were clenched. Her voice, when it came, was quiet but cold. Of course not. I merely abducted a fragile creature from the stars, tampered with his body, then allowed his DNA to rewrite my legacy. A trivial mistake. Princess, you have made your choice, she said. The judge nodded again. You are free to go, human. But know this, there are those who will not look kindly on your refusal. To offend a royal bloodline is to insult 1,000 years of heritage. The bailiffs escorted Threxala away. She never looked back. 2 days later, I sat alone in the shuttle waiting lounge, staring out the window as stars drifted by. Earth was still several jumps away. I should have been relieved. But I wasn't. The moment I saw Threxala taken away in chains, her people hissing, whispering, turning their backs on her, I felt something gnaw at me. This wasn't just about genetic bonds or alien laws. She had chosen to keep me alive. She could have dissected me. Instead, she let me go. And I let her fall. You waiting for departure? A voice asked beside me. It was one of the court officials, an older Korok male with bark-like skin. Word of your decision traveled fast, he added. You made quite the statement. Wasn't trying to. I believe you. But the galaxy doesn't care what you try. It sees what you do. He stood, dropping something into my hand. Data chip. What's this? Recordings from her stasis cell. She hasn't spoken to anyone. But she recorded a message. Said it's only for you. He walked away without another word. I stared at the chip, then inserted it. Her voice played softly in my ear. I understand your decision. Cursed you once. Thought humans weak, soft. I thought you would kneel before the weight of our law. But you didn't. You spoke truth. Even when it cost me everything. You're not mine. And yet, part of me still resonates with you. If ever you wish to see me again, ask the stars about the exile moon. I'll be waiting. 1 year later, the exile moon was a frozen rock at the edge of dead space. There were no royal guards, no banners, just a broken-down temple overlooking a crater. I stepped through the icy door. She stood at the altar, arms crossed, her body wrapped in furs. Her back was to me,